Hey guys, this is Marsha, and welcome back to MarshaSpeaks. This is the fifth time I've done this video, and let's hope it's the last. So, quick disclaimer, this is going to be a review for Season 5, Episode 1 of Total Bellas, but I will not be reviewing every single episode. Some episodes are filler to me, and they're just boring, because American TV shows have the problem of trying to hit 20-something episodes, when it really can be condensed down to like 13. And the only TV series that is going to suck the episodes out of my life like that is Charmed. So, what I will promise y'all instead is that I'm going to skip the episode and either cram that review with a recent episode or put a little mini review into the new episode, so it's not going to be like a whole 30 minutes to an hour long episode. Or the third option, we're just going to pretend like I didn't skip an episode at all and leave it alone. So, in that one, we will pretend like I actually reviewed it when I didn't. So, we'll see how it goes. Anywho, let's get right into the video and we'll see if my hair wants to act right throughout the whole episode. So, the episode starts off with Bree and Brian. They're trying for baby number 2. And from what we remember from when they were trying for Birdie, it took them a little bit longer to have their bundle of joy, and they seem to be having that same experience with the second child. Of course, we know now that they are going to have the second child, God willing, and it makes the stuff that they say in this episode very interesting, to say the least. It's a common topic, and it's a sensitive topic, which is like infertility. So I really don't want to delve too deep into that because I don't have kids and I don't know how that feels. So, but I know that it can be heart-wrenching. It is very heart-wrenching, the topic itself. And I'm just glad that they were able to be in the space that they're in now because Bree is pregnant right now. From moving forward, Nikki and Artem are living together in the beginning of this episode. Nikki is living with Artem in California, and they were talking about how Artem is a dancer and this, that, and the third, and how Artem is so excited for the new season, how that's gonna change their relationship again a little bit, because Artem will be in California filming the show, and Nikki will be in Arizona now that her house that she was trying to build for herself with her own money, she wanted us to know that, is fully built. Or is almost there. Then we flash forward to 2 days, and it's been announced through Dancing with the Stars that Artem will not be coming back for the newest season. That, of course, shifts the atmosphere because, of course, he's sad. He was part of that show for 10 years, and it shifts the fact that before he really couldn't move with Nikki to Arizona because he had the show, and now that that's gone, there is a possibility that he can move. So that's just a little sad and a little interesting, but yeah. So that is where Artem and Nikki were in the beginning of the episode. Of course, Bree and Nikki have so many things going on. They have the wine company, they have their clothing line, they have the cosmetic line that they were launching at that time. So, and they do a podcast. So right after that, after they were announcing the podcast, as you know, yes, the podcast, and Bree and Nikki invite Artem to be a guest on the podcast. The first thing that we all notice is that Artem is very uncomfortable about talking about the loss of income. let's call a spade a spade. He's very upset. I don't think he's very upset. It looked very uncomfortable for him to talk about how he will not be part of Dancing with the Stars in the newest season. However, Nikki kind of spins it and starts saying like, hey, now that you're not doing that, do you want to move in with me in Arizona? And he seems really shocked. Not really shocked, but he seems a little shocked. Like, oh, we're really, like, is this like an official invite? Are we really doing this right now? And she's like, yeah, we're really doing this right now. And from there, Artem says, yes, I would move with you to Arizona. I thought it was kind of fine because their whole relationship has been kind of moving a little fast to begin with. But Bree is seeing these like huge red flags saying, oh my gosh, like Nikki's doing it again. She needs to slow down. And slowly, Bree kind of irritates me to begin with, but it's not your life. First of all, it's not your life. Second of all, like, you can't dictate to an adult what pace her life should be going in, you know? If this is what they want to do, they're adults. Let them do it. And if she regrets it later, she can kick him out. It's her house. Like, there really was no loss for Nikki. The person that would lose if Ish hit the fan would be Artem, because that's not his house. So, explain to me why everybody was pressed like a peony. I don't get it either. The other thing that was really concerning me is when they were doing the back and forth for the podcast episode. I don't know who was filming that, but the cameraman needs to stop. It was going up and down. It was not stable at all. I don't get it, because I know professional cameraman, they bulky. Like, they can hold that camera and keep it level throughout. If any of you guys used to watch Basketball Wives, LA, there was this one season where Tammy was like running after somebody to attack her, and the cameraman ran after them, of course, try to get that footage for the TV show. And throughout the whole time, that footage was steady, rock steady. So he was running with the camera level. And you're telling me that you can't do that too? Cameraman, Totobello, what we doing? All he doing is going back and forth, back and forth. He does not need to act like he running. Where he going? Who filmed that? Did better. That's all. But again, I'm not a cameraman. What do I know? Like I said, Nikki asked Artem to move in with her. And my other point was, like, Bree was saying that, oh, I didn't want to, like, I know how Nikki is. She likes to, bum rush people. But Artem's an adult. He's not a lost puppy. He can handle himself. But at the same time, like, they are in a relationship. They clearly had this conversation before. So I 1,000% believe that they definitely talked about this before they discussed it on the podcast, like any sane, normal relationship couples would do. Like, we're not children out here. Stop this. Like I said before, from the beginning, Bree was butting her nose into their relationship, kept on saying that they were moving too fast. But the one thing I will say about Bree is that her feeling of the pressure from society, from Daniel, from whoever, to have this second child is very real. Because I said that Bree's talking real stuff about this career aspect. Because if you're a woman and you want to have kids, but you are also a career woman, you have to pretty much plan out how you're going to have these kids, right? Because if you want your career to be successful, but you also want to have kids, you have to plan like, okay, 5 years from now, I want to have kids, so I have to be around this level so that I can afford to slow the momentum down on my career. So that part was very real, because guys don't really have to think about that. Guys just leave because that's what society says, like, yeah, and they're not the one that's carrying this child too. So that part is very true. Guys don't have to worry about the loss of momentum in their career. They don't really feel the pressure of having these 2.5 kids that is the American standard. So it really, she was talking some real stuff on that one. From there, they show Bree and Nikki going to New York to launch their cosmetic line. And while they were there, they met with, their homegirls in New York, like had a little lunch date thing going on. I'm guessing Nikki and their friend Danielle, I think they said her name was, they're both dating Russian people, or one of them is married to a Russian, I don't know. But they're in a relationship with Russians, and I guess Danielle actually knows Russian, or she's Russian herself, but she was teaching her the words. And I was just thinking that was really interesting, because Nick is very comfortable with talking about like sex and stuff like that on TV, because she had more experience with it, because this is what she's been doing with John Cena for the longest. Their relationship was out there. And Artem is not really comfortable yet, I think, if he ever will be. He seems a little bit more conservative in that way. And it's just I just thought that was so interesting, because he looks so uncomfortable whenever they are talking about anything, risque on TV that, his parents might be watching. So from there, the friends and Bree have bombarded Nikki about how she's moving too fast. Like, are you really sure? And this is when Nikki's idea or the seeds that they're putting into her is sprouting, right? Because we've all noticed this with Nikki. Like, if too many of her inner circle thinks that something's a bad idea, even though she might think it's a good idea, she will drop her own plans to accommodate and please the people around her. She talked about this before, about how she's a people pleaser, and this was something that she was working on in the past. So we see that rearing its head because when the friends say that, yeah, I agree with Bree that you're moving a little too fast, and even the mom too, when the Bree told the mom that Nikki asked Artem to move in, which I don't think it was Bree's place to tell the mom that, but even the mom was saying, oh my gosh, Nikki, what are you doing? So I guess this is like, not I guess, we've seen this throughout the seasons, like it is Nikki's thing of like, she likes to jump ahead and then while she's in the moment think and like, oh my gosh, am I really, like, should I really be doing that? That might become problems later on in the relationship because I would get irritated with that a lot. But I ain't in a relationship with that woman. But yes, Bree and friends are worried that he's... Oh yeah, Bree and her friends, they were trying to say it in a nice way, but basically what I got was that they're afraid that... Not afraid, but they were basically saying like, do you think he chose to say yes because he basically lost his job? Like, this dude's mooching off of you because he ain't got no money coming in. Like, that's basically what they were saying. They said it in nicer terms, but here on MarshaSpeaks, we like to just get right in there, right? So I just thought that was a little rude. Not wrong, but he has enough funds. Like, he doesn't have to go move in with Nikki. And we know now that, like, jump forward to today, Nikki's also pregnant with his child, and they are living together while we're all quarantined. That I believe it was in God's plan anyways, because he probably saw this coming, probably saw what was going on, so he's like, I'm just giving y'all extra time. Probably wish you all were married first, but that's not my business. But yeah, like, people need to fall back on people's relationships. I don't get it. So, like I said before, Nick is letting the negativity get to her and is swaying her decision making. And then when there is still in New York, Bree gets a call from Brian that something's wrong with Josie, their dog, not Winston, which was Nikki's dog that they gave to Bree and Brian, that she gave to Bree and Brian. Bree and Brian's actual dog, the first dog they had themselves, was Josie, and she died. I'm not really a dog person. I'm not a pet person. So I was kind of sad. I had some tears because of how emotionally connected they are with her. But my pets are outside pets in Haiti. And they fend for themselves for the most part. So it's a different type of relationship. I felt really bad for them. And I think that it was really messed up for Bree to pile on top of Brian right when he's like grieving over the loss of their dog, right? So I just thought that was a little messed up. But I also understand what Bree was saying, that she'd been holding this in for a while and she knew he was leaving to go on the road. And it was like, it's either I'm going to tell you this now or I'm just going to keep on bottling it. And that's not healthy for a relationship either. So I get what Bree was saying. And Bree, at that point, right after talking about how the loss of Josie is really affecting Daniel and how Josie helped him with his depression and all that, Bree tells him, by the way, I don't really want to have a second child. And I like the fact that Brian did call her out on it. Like, you're going to tell me this now when my bags are packed and I'm leaving to go on the road. Now, when I literally just told you that Josie's death is really affecting me. Now, when you know that I am the last male Danielson and basically I want to continue the family line, now, or the family name, now when really we can't really talk about this or go into too much in depth because I gotta go and catch a flight. Timing was trash. Just garbage. But that's life. If it was a movie, the timing would be perfect. But real life, that's not how it is. Relationships, that's not how it is at all. So I get both sides. And I just like the fact that throughout the episode, because before this I skipped the fact that Bree went to the OBGYN to see like what was like just get a checkup, and the OBGYN was like confirming with her like it's okay if you just want to have one kid. You don't have to have multiple children. Like yes, this is what Brian wants, but you guys should have a discussion about is this what you guys need or want as a couple. And I just thought that like, and from there that's when she felt comfortable saying that I just want one kid. And how hectic their life is, one kid at that time probably would have been nice. But she pregnant with her second one. So I knew that was my other point though. Like she kept on emphasizing throughout this episode how much she doesn't want a second child. And in my mind I was like, oh, this is so awkward because yes, we're thankful that they have the second child, but your second child is gonna be watching the episodes. Like this is gonna be on on the internet forever. And he or she is going to be watching these episodes about how excited you guys were when you found out that you were pregnant with Birdie. How you guys were really planning for Birdie. And then cut to when he or she is coming into the world or is about to be conceived, you were adamant that you don't want kids at all. Like you're good with your only child. You don't want a second one. Deuces, that's for the birds. That's going to be a little awkward, but they'll figure it out. I'm pretty sure there's many second children that were accidents or not planned. It is what it is. We out here, we'll be fine. Being Brian's dog died. Okay, this is what I thought was hilarious, right, guys? Like, Nikki goes and tells Artem that she really doesn't, she wants to pump the brakes and doesn't want Artem to move in. But to do that, to like soften the blow, Nikki takes Artem to a lingerie shop and has him just sit there while she looking at, like, it was really lingerie shop because they had like the cutout boob section. And I'm like, are we really about to put this on TV? But, it's Nikki. So they put that on TV. It was covered. It shared like the little pasties. It was covered. I just thought that the one that they sat down and talked in was the most conservative of the outfits that she was trying on in front of him. So you basically have to turn this man on and have this man think about like positive vibes and stuff like that. And then you hit him with that, oh yeah, by the way, I don't want you to move in with me. And it's like, April Fool's, like, son, that was a little... You couldn't take him to like a dinner and tell him that? You didn't have to do that at the lingerie shop? Poor man. But yeah, Nikki tells Artem that they need to step back and she doesn't want to move in with him. She doesn't want him to move into her house. Of course, I don't like the fact that they both do this. Bree and Nikki both do this. They give like these guys like the idea that or the facade that they actually asking for their opinion when they really don't care. Because Nikki was like, oh, I want you to tell me how you feel. How do you feel about this? Like the fact that that she wants them to pump the brakes. And Artem's like, I respect your decision. Because we all know, based on how he's responding and his body language and stuff, he doesn't want to do that. Like, he thought that the pace they were in was perfectly fine. And he probably is getting used to the fact that if too many people in her circle have a negative opinion about something, that Nick is going to switch up. And we see that because one of his comments in the confessionals is that he's very, like, when he makes a decision, he's thought about it, he's analyzed it, he's really... invested in research and focused on before he makes a decision. And Nikki's not like that. He said that Nikki likes to say stuff in the moment and then, retract it later. And that's literally what happened with do you want to move in with me? Like, she thought that was a good thing to say at the moment because he lost his job and she probably wanted to give him something positive to look forward to. And now she's really thinking about it, and by she's really thinking about it, her inner circle is, putting seeds of doubt in there. And here we are with Nikki retracting the invitation, right? So we already see that could be a problem for their relationship in general in the future if this doesn't get fixed. But again, I'm not in the relationship with them. But that is that's not my view, because we got the last part, which was Bree and Brian coming. Brian is, it shows him going to WWE, SmackDown, and then coming back home. And he talked to her and basically said that, oh, he thought about it. he apologized to her, and I'm like, what you gotta apologize for? Like, these were your valid feelings, and you were in every way, shape, and form in your right to feel this way, and you apologized. Oh, it was aggressive. You were passionate. That wasn't aggressive at all. You were passionate about your topic and your stance. And oh, I'm sorry for what, I don't know. They both apologized to each other, but these were fake apologies in my opinion, and I ended up being right in the end because he says that yes, you're right. Right now, having a second child will be very hectic with their relationship, with what's going on in their lives and how they're barely holding on. And I just thought that was really interesting because in the confessional later on, it was like two different. It was like we literally see them both there talking to each other. But when it gets to the confessional, it's like two different experiences. Like, were we all in the same room together? Because Bree is like, oh, I'm so glad that we're finally on the same page and we're finally doing the, like, we're all, like, we're in agreement that we're fine with one child. And it cuts to Daniel saying, no, I basically lied. I said that just to make her feel better. Essentially, and the thing that was really weighing hard on him, he's the last male Danielson. I repeat, he's the last male Danielson, meaning that he knows when Bree gets older and if she wants to, get married, 9 times out of 10, she will drop her last name and take her husband's last name, or even if they hyphenate their last name, it's still not, their child will be a hyphenated last name. It's not the Danielson line will continue. He's the last male Danielson and he wants the Danielson name to continue. So I just thought that's what's really weighing on him, and a lot of people think like that. Like, and it's okay to think like that. That you want your name that has been with your family for years to continue when you die. So, I don't know why Bree is. I can't say that she doesn't get it. It's just that she just sees it like this is too much of a sacrifice for me right now, and that's okay to feel like that too. Because, like she said before, it's my life that has to be put on pause. It's my life that has to be switched and turned and bent over backwards if we have 2 kids here, and I'm still traveling and I'm still being career mom because you're pretty much gone, what, 75% of the week. So if that, so like, it's a lot. I just thought that the one thing I just found really interesting is that they are worst WWE superstars, right? And when they have their kids, or when their kids grow up, at least for Daniel, I'm speaking specifically for Daniel and Bree right now. Bree was a WWE superstar. She had to drop her career to have her family. She accepted that. She decided that's what she wanted, which is fine. Then when her kids get older, all they're going to remember is the same experience like Charlotte, in Charlotte Flair, right? Because Charlotte Flair kept on saying that she remembered was that her dad wasn't home because he was on the road. And that's going to be Birdie's experience too. Because even though you both were WWE superstars, as Birdie grows up, the person that's going to be more prevalent and there in the home is going to be Bree. And Nikki and, Bree's family, whatever. But it's going to be Bree. So it's just interesting that, yes, they both were WWE superstars, but your child's really going to only remember the parent that is the WWE superstar is Daniel because he's gone. Because he's on the road for WWE. So I just thought that's a little sad, but that's life, right? Life is not perfect. It's not a movie ending. So, and I just like the fact that they're raw and honest enough to show that sometimes that's how relationships go. There's ebbs and flows in relationships, in marriages. And one thing that really hit me is that Daniel said that when they got married, they were like this. And slowly, like, their viewpoint on life, remember in the viewpoint of life, when they just got married, Bree became vegan. Bree and them I'm assuming, had the discussion about, like, how many kids they wanted. Like, their viewpoint and understanding of life was like this. And slowly, as life has gone on, it's like they're going away from each other. And it's starting to show. So I just thought that's life too. But it's also a warning sign that, yes, people move away from each other. But if you don't find a time and a focus to get back together, you guys can move away to the point that y'all get a divorce. And I've seen it happen like in real life. So it's not like they hate each other. It's just that they literally just grew apart. So honestly, therapy, bro. Therapy is a proactive treatment, not a cure. So I think, and people always want to go to therapy right when their relationship is flatlining, but therapy is a preventative treatment. So this is the perfect time they need to go to therapy, y'all. But yeah, that's me. That's Marsha Speaks. I will see you guys for not tomorrow. I will see you guys on Sunday for Charmed. And if there's any other TV shows you guys like me to review, comment down below and let me know. And I will see you guys later. Bye.